You know, I said something about climate. Every single one of the complaints is political.
See, the West will not understand the value of freedom, especially freedom of expression, until they lose it. So, Jordan Peterson recently sat down with Joe Rogan to discuss the new attack he's facing in Canada. I mean, people won't just leave this man alone. You know, if it is not interviewers looking for a gotcha moment, it's journalists writing hit pieces. Now it is a licensing body subjecting him to social media re-education. Like, you know, the West has really lost its mind when the institution for treating mental illnesses have become this ridiculous and insane. Anyway, we'll be watching a few clips from the podcast episode that addresses this whole drama, and hopefully we'll be able to make sense of what exactly is happening in Canada. So let's begin with this clip.
The College of Psychologists has basically levied what are equivalent to about 13 lawsuits against me simultaneously. Now, the reason I call them lawsuits is because they're actions undertaken on behalf of a complainant. Now, the complainant can be anyone anywhere in the world who complains about me for any reason. They don't have to be former clients. They don't even have to be anybody I've ever met. They don't even have to have met anybody I've ever met. So, you know...
So it could be someone online.
Well, it is. All this is pretty much... All these complaints are someone online. None of them are my clients, although half of them claim to be falsely. And the college didn't throw out their complaints despite that. So, which is really quite interesting.
And what are the complaints?
Well...
People often say social media isn't real. Like, this is not real life. That's what people often say. Well, those people are clearly wrong. In fact, social media, especially Twitter, can allow people to show their true colors. But these days, it's even more dire because you can get fired for something you see on social media. That's how real it can get. People lose their job for simply following an account on Twitter. You can lose your entire career for a tweet from like 10 years ago. I mean, wars have never been this expensive in recent history, especially in the West, which boasts of loving freedom, being tolerant and very inclusive. You know, but it seems they only care about diversity of ethnicity or of multiple names for the same gender identity and uncountable pronouns. But they can't seem to stand the diversity of opinion. Disagreement is unacceptable. That's the deadliest sin. I mean, it doesn't matter that you even agree with them 99%. That 1% is enough for them to demand your head on a spike. You know, the compliance must be complete. That's what this is now. Well, let's keep watching.
Lance.
Well, okay, let's see. The one complaint is about the tweet I made about Ellen or Elliot Page, and when I said that a criminal physician cut off her breasts and that pride was the sin. So now I'm in trouble again because I just said the same thing. One was about Sports Illustrated cover where they featured that overweight model, and I tweeted out "not beautiful," and I guess that was something like fat shaming. I don't remember exactly what the charge was. And then I criticized Justin Trudeau and a former staff member of Justin Trudeau and Jacinda Ardern. I made a joke about her. I was going to New Zealand, and the New Zealand leftist press was freaking out, and I made this joke about bringing my alt-right trolls to New Zealand, and then I put in parentheses, or maybe they're just, you know, ordinary people who are trying to clean up their rooms. So apparently that was casting the profession into disgrace. And then they submitted, one complainant from the U.S. submitted the entire transcript of our last discussion. So, you know, I don't know how to defend myself against that, because apparently everything I say, and apparently everything you say too, is bringing the profession of psychology into disgrace. And I think they're most upset in that case about my comments about the inadequacy of climate models. And so...
Are these online crybabies aware that, you know, it is okay to disagree with someone? I mean, it is even normal to be angry or upset by a tweet. It happens to everyone, all the time, to the best of us. No one is above feeling offended. I've been upset by a series of tweets from Jordan Peterson. This very Jordan Peterson, yes, there was this series of tweets in which he advocated for social media to not allow anonymous users. Now, I understand his reasons and how anonymity shields cowardly miscreants, allowing them to troll others with impunity. But I knew anonymity had, you know, much needed benefits. It allows you to follow your favorite alt-right social media account and share ideas without fear of losing your job. I mean, not many people can manage a career after getting cancelled. Not many. So we just have to, learn to get used to trolls and how to deal with these anonymous trolls, right? But Jordan Peterson, he kept pushing this idea despite the rational explanation he received in response. So at one point, I was just a bit annoyed and I felt, what I needed to do right now is just unfollow him for a while. That's why the unfollow button exists in the first place. But what I didn't do was send a report to the University of Ontario asking them to put a leash on their pit bull. And that's exactly what this whiny, fragile online snowflakes did, trying to control Jordan Peterson like a dog on a leash. These people have never worked for anything in their lives, destined for mediocrity, yet they think they have the right to destroy people's lives like that. Like, what exactly is so egregious that deserves you to seek to end people's career? Is it really that serious? Do you have to go that far? I mean, most rational humans detest more than half of the ideas espoused on TikTok. But we don't fight for the people espousing these ideas to be banned on the platform. Instead, we want these TikTokers to continue disgracing themselves. Their ridiculous views have given me an endless pool of content ideas. You see, I took something negative and I turned it into a positive. That's what you do. But anyway, let's continue watching to understand the craziness of the verdict against Jordan Peterson.
We should explain that because
so
that
I've
is
already
one of
been
the things.
sentenced, right?
Yes.
So this isn't a threat by the college. This is what the situation already is. I haven't been hauled in front of their disciplinary board yet, but they've already convicted me of disgracing the profession and sentenced me to an indefinite period of re-education. And that's the second most serious punishment that they can levy against a professional. The first is to take away the license. The second is to undergo this retraining and to publicly announce the necessity for that, which they've already done in my case. And so now I have to sit down with these experts at my expense for an indefinite period of time until I'm trained properly, whatever the hell that means, by the criteria of the so-called experts and the college. And that isn't pending an investigation. That's already in place.
It's such a wild request, too. Retraining.
I'm trying to contain myself, These crybabies, are they happy now? Like, how do they feel about themselves? Great? Do they think they are the good people fighting for a just cause? Is this their definition of tolerance? And do they understand what they are pushing for in this their assumed fit of rage? Haven't you noticed yet, or haven't they noticed yet, that those in power are using them? They are practically empowering tyrants. Thanks to their stupidity, tyrants can enforce Orwellian measures, silencing voices that oppose or criticize their policies. These people have become pawns in the hands of nefarious, incompetent politicians. No one is obliging these snowflakes because they give a damn about how they feel. That's not what is happening here. These actions are all about silencing political dissent. I guess they are too angry and too sucked in their emotions to see what is actually going on. Well, let's keep watching so we can understand exactly what is going on, because I feel this next clip really spells it out.
The reason it's a problem is because the colleges in general, like the regulatory boards of professionals, are doing this to everyone. Lawyers, physicians, teachers, massage therapists. There's all these licensed professions. And if you're a licensed profession, the government establishes a board of your peers to regulate conduct of the professionals. Now, and in a functional time, all that happens then is that generally the people who get in trouble with their own clients, right? With the people they've been dealing with directly. And then the board steps in on the side of the person who's been injured by a pathologically practicing professional. And fair enough. But now it's been weaponized, and it's been weaponized as a political tool too. And it's not like activists don't know that. And it's so preposterous because I have 20 million people following me on social media, and God only knows how many views of my videos, for example, or the interviews you and I have done. It's tens of millions. And like, how many people complained? 20 out of millions? And then the college didn't have to pursue those complaints. They have to investigate them. So I don't know what they're doing now because, of course, they've been inundated by thousands of complaints about their own behavior. So I have no idea what they're going to do about that. But they didn't have to investigate. They chose to investigate. And as I said, they did that despite the fact that half the complainants claimed to be my clients and weren't. So what we have here is we have 13 people who complained about me hypothetically doing harm to someone they didn't know, to someone who they didn't know, anyone who knew, as a consequence of things I said on social media. And that all of them, not only were they fourth-hand claims of harm, which, you know, no psychologist would ever claim that a fourth-hand account of harm constituted a valid measurement. So the bloody college is violating its own measurement standards by even pursuing this. But so not only are they based on fourth-hand information and then an outright lie, which is they were clients of mine, they're also predicated on the assumption that it's okay to go after a professional for expressing political criticism. Because, like, literally half of them are, well, I said something about Trudeau. I said something about one of his top aides. I said something about Jacinda Ardern. I said something about an Ottawa city councillor in relationship to the trucker convoy. You know, I said something about climate. Every single one of the complaints is political.
See, the West will not understand the value of freedom, especially freedom of expression, until they lose it. And Western politicians have become more tyrannical than African dictators because they use protecting people's fragile emotions to excuse their despotic actions and nature. These bodies know that this complaint against Jordan Peterson don't carry any credibility. They are flimsy, foolish and ridiculous. But they use them nonetheless, giving them the credence that they don't deserve. And they are doing this because the powers that be are not happy with Jordan Peterson's political views. They see him as a threat to their agenda, so he needs to be silenced and suppressed. But for these crybabies and activists, all they want is to destroy Jordan Peterson. And since they can't achieve that by conjuring anything that resembles a counter-argument, they will do it by ending his career. Because that's the only thing they know how to do. Destroy something. Building anything is not part of their skills. But destroying and tearing down things, that is what they are very good at. But they fail to realize that the government is nobody's friend. The government that they think they are using is actually using them. Because these politicians care about just one thing: power. You are their friends only when they can use you to retain their hold on power. And once you become useless, they will dispose you like a worthless piece of worn-out rag. These crybabies are a useful army of psychopathic bullies and activists wailing over sensible ideas they find offensive. So what the government does is capitalize on their stupidity, claiming to clamp down on hateful speech. But really they are silencing dissent, making a public example of them and terrorizing those who may want to verbally oppose their agenda. And when the government has fully gained control of public speech, everyone, without exception, won't be free to express themselves, including these whiny, petulant crybabies that like to scream the loudest. See, the government won't stop at silencing just people you can't stand. They will also silence you. The attack on free speech won't stop until everyone becomes silent. And the only people this benefits are those in power. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and if you enjoyed it, then hit the like button, share this video, subscribe to this channel and ring that notification bell. Also, I want to know what you think about the clip we just reviewed or reacted to. You know, what do you think about this complaint and what is happening to Jordan Peterson? Let me know in the comments. And until the next video, peace.